Hi guys, Gareth here from Heartfelt Horsemanship. I want to talk a little bit about the bucking issue. There seems to be a theory that every horse will buck for the first time that they cantered, that they're saddled up, or buck for the first time that they canter, or buck on their first mount. And it seems to be the prevailing sentiment that that is just how it's done and that's what it's got to go through. No, that is not the case at all. A horse doesn't need to buck on their first ride, on their first saddling up, on their first canter. And for me personally, nowadays if I get a horse that bucks the first time I saddle them or first time I climb on, I will take it that I've missed something. And I'll go back and I'll break it down and see where I've gone wrong. Where is there confusion for the horse? It's not understanding what's expected of it, or where the horse is still anxious. And that includes rescues. And I know I hear people often say to me, well, yeah, but that's, every horse is different. This horse just needs to be bucked at. Look, it's a way that still happens, but I think it's important that we stand up and we say, well, no, doesn't need to be this way. If someone chooses that way, that's on them. But it's not a necessity to go through the bucking and the rodeo. Out of the last 100 horses I've had, I think I've had one that bucked on his first saddling. He didn't buck on the first mount. And he had been through some stuff, and when I had that happen, I reassessed how I'd gone through things, and I definitely rushed him along more like a clean start, as opposed to a rescue that had been through some abuse. So I had to really relook and slow down his process and take my agenda out of it and work him through it. But it's definitely not a case of every horse will buck on the first time they're saddled or the first time they're ridden, even the first time they canter. And that's one that's only a recent thing for me. For a long time I was under the impression that a lot of horses would buck on their first time going up into a canter. It is a flat gate, and horses do get a little more worried in it. And I put a lot of time and effort into working on ways to get them calmer about it, and now I get that far less. I do occasionally get a horse where when you're working on your canters and they disunite and they've got to get their feet organized, but it's not the bucking rodeo that's going to get you off. It's them getting their hind end up to get their legs in the right position. And even there I will do a lot more work on rollovers on the ground, changes the direction, get them understanding how to place their feet on my groundwork, that when I do ride it's not as big a deal. Thanks guys.